you very, very much. We're very proud of our first grade students as they celebrate this evening reading and music. And you are in for a special treat, so if you haven't already done so, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. You want to hear everything that they're doing. It's fantastic. And also, just some logistical pieces. We have a lot of people here this evening, and we want to make sure we get the children back to you as safely as we can. So after the show, we'll be taking the children back to the classroom, and you could go back to the classroom, one member from each family, and sign the children out then. Once again, we want to make sure we get them back to you safe and secure. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our music director, Ms. Bowman, and she will take us through the show.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Bowman, your child's music teacher, and I couldn't be prouder of our show this evening. So March is Music in Our Schools Month, and this whole month, people across the country are celebrating music education. I'm telling something really important to your families. Listen. So music education is all about singing, dancing, playing instruments, poetry, math, reading, literacy, social skills like cooperation and teamwork. I think that the show exemplifies all of that. So I hope you get a great vision of what we do here in our music classes. So before we begin, came here? Okay. All right, so before we begin, I have a quote for you. And then I'm going to pass it over to our three hosts for our show. You may have tangible white wealth untold, caskets of jewels and coffers of gold. Richer than I you can never be, because I had a parent who read to me. I hope you enjoy the show. We will begin with the Reader's Oath. Ready, first grade?
I promise to read.
I promise to read.
Each day and each night.
Each day and each night.
I know it's the key.
I know it's the key.
To growing up right.
To growing up right.
I'll read to myself.
I'll read to myself.
I'll read to a crowd.
I'll read to a crowd.
It makes no difference.
It makes no difference.
If it's silent or loud.
If it's silent or loud.
I'll read at my desk.
I'll read at my desk.
At home and at school.
At home and at school.
On my beanbag or bed.
On my beanbag or bed.
By the fire or pool.
By the fire or pool.
Each book that I read.
Each book that I read.
Puts smarts in my head.
Puts smarts in my head.
'Cause brains grow more thoughts.
The brains are more thoughts.
The more they are fed.
The more they are fed.
So I take this oath.
So I take this oath.
To make reading my way.
To make reading my way.
Of feeding my brain.
Of feeding my brain.
What it needs every day.
What it needs every day. I've got 7 nights to read.
will be performed by Mrs. Thomas's class. They will sing the popular book, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
A told B, and B told C, I'll meet you to the top of the coconut tree. We said D, we had G, I'll meet you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Here comes H up the coconut tree, and I and J, and tag along K, all the way up the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Look who's coming, it's L-M-N-O-P, and Q-R-S and T-U-V. Still more W and X-Y-Z, the whole alphabet's up the oh no! Chica chica, ooh ooh. Skid scat scoodle do flip flop flee. Everybody running to the coconut tree. Mothers and papas and uncles and aunts hug the little babies and touch their hands. Oh no, baby me. Next to my mother, skinny D. And so to me, I splash at that. Don't keep me all out of breath. H's tangled up with I. J and K are about to cry. L is knotted like a tie. M is looped and it's scooped. O is twisted, alley-oop. Skid, scat, scoodle, to flip, flop, flee. Look who's coming, it's black-eyed P. And Q-R-S and loose tooth T. And U-V-W, wiggle, jiggle, free. Last to come, X-Y-Z, and the sun goes down on the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, look, there's a full moon. A's out of bed, and this is what he said. Dare, no dare, you can't catch me. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, chicka chicka boom boom.
Oh, look, it's the teddy bears. They must be getting ready for their picnic. Miss Masterson's class will now perform the book Teddy Bear Picnic by Jimmy Kennedy.
If you go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down to the woods today, you better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today
formed the napping house. Let's see how this class added instruments to a book.
The Napping House by Audrey Wood. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping.
And in that house there is a bed, a cozy bed in the napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that bed there is a granny, a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that granny there is a child, a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that granny there is a child, a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that child there is a dog, a dozing dog on a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that dog, wait. And on that dog there is a cat, a snoozing cat on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that cat there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone's sleeping.
And on that mouse there is a flea. Can it be a wakeful flea on a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where
A wakeful flea who bites the mouse,
who scares the cat,
who claws the dog,
who thumps the child,
who bumps the granny,
who breaks the bed,
in a napping house where now no one is sleeping.
Pete the Cat and His White Shoes. Miss Amoroso's class will perform the book by using singing, instruments, and acting. Jared Barnett is playing the part of Pete with Marcus helping.
Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, story by Eric Lipp. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song.
I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes.
Oh no, he stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes.
Oh no, he stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes.
Oh no, he stepped in a puddle of mud. What color did it turn his shoes? Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes.
Oh no, he stepped in a bucket of water and all the brown and all the blue and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again?
White.
But now they were wet. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and singing his song.
I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes.
The moral of Pete's story is no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song. Because it's all good.
First class will now perform Giraffes Can't Dance. Let's see how they added dance and different styles of music to this popular book.
Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles and Greg. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and launching shoots off trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees.
Now every year in Africa they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up each skip and prance. And this year when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was very bad.
The warhawk started waltzing. And the rhinos rocked and rolled. A lion in a temple that was elegant and bold. A chipmunk in a cha-cha that was bigger than feet.
See, Gerald then was all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird.
Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept up from the dance floor and he started walking home. He never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, Captain Cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song.
Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really wanted to.
With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing around. He threw his legs out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air.
Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. I'm dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I'm dancing, Gerald cried.
Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quiet and entranced. Then they shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen! How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head up and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love."
All right, we have a song for you called Read Me a Story.
Me by Jane Yolen. Read to me riddles and read to me rhymes. Read to me stories and magical times. Read to me tales of castles and kings. Read to me stories of fabulous things.
Read to me pirates and read to me knights. Read to me dragons and dragon book fights. Read to me spaceships and cowboys, and then when you are finished, please read them again.
Fantastic job. Another round of applause for our first grade performers. The amount of hours and preparation that go into something like this is enormous. To put a 48-minute show on, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks and hours. I'd be remiss if I did not say thank you and a round of applause for Mrs. Bowman who put this together. Mrs. Bowman, thank you. Also, the first grade teachers, all of the teachers that work with the students, our paraprofessionals that do that, our special ed teachers, just fantastic job. And before I turn the mic over to one of our first grade students, I need your eyes and ears real quick here. Take a look out in that audience and give your parents, your families, and everybody who came out to see you, give them an applause. First grade students, yes. So we do have someone who would like to make a presentation.
This is Daniel. All the first graders in Miss Madsen's class, they don't know for Miss Bowman. Thank you, Miss Bowman. We love you.
Now, before we get our students out of here, since we're celebrating literacy tonight in music, after you pick your children up in their homerooms, we have a book that is donated to Marshall Street Elementary. So there are 3 tables out in the main lobby, so you can choose a book for your students to read since we're celebrating literacy this evening, as well as music and the arts here in Norristown School District here at Marshall Street Elementary School. So once again, I want to thank the parents and families for coming out this evening and supporting Marshall Street Elementary. Give us a couple of minutes. We want to get the students back to their homerooms. And then if you have one member from each family, go down and pick up the students. We want to get them out. And then you're more than welcome to come back, take some pictures with the students on the risers or whatever. But thank you very much, Marshall Street families, Marshall Street students.